Welcome to campus, Hornets. The Compliance Office within the Student Athlete Resource Center, or better known as the SARC, is here to help you play by the rules. Our team consists of Faculty Athletic Representative Steve Perez, Director of Compliance Catherine Zadonis, Compliance Coordinator Kylie Karor, Compliance Intern Zach Davis. As a student athlete at Sacramento State, it's important that you know and understand various rules and guidelines that have been defined by the NCAA Big Sky Conference and the university to ensure your eligibility for participation in intercollegiate competition. The information provided in this video will give you an overview of many of these rules and guidelines that all student athletes, coaches, athletics department staff, boosters, and fans need to know and to abide by. This video is not a comprehensive source of information, and as such, we invite you to stop by the compliance office or contact any of the compliance staff members to seek clarification on a question or issue you may have regarding eligibility, recruiting, extra benefits, employment, outside competition, financial aid, drug testing, promotional activities, or booster relationships. We wish you much success this year, both in the classroom and in your sport of competition. Go Hornets!
As Sacramento State student athletes, we know that we all need to perform in the classroom just like we do in our sports. So take note of these simple rules to stay academically eligible, and we could all walk across that stage on graduation day. Always be enrolled in 12 credits. Pass a minimum of 6 credits every semester. Pass at least 18 credits combined during every fall and spring. By the beginning of your sophomore year, complete at least 24 credits with a minimum of 1.8 GPA. Declare a major by the beginning of your junior year. By the beginning of your junior year, complete 40% of your degree with a minimum of 1.9 GPA. By the beginning of your senior year, complete 60% of your degree with a minimum of 2.0 GPA. By the beginning of your 5th year, complete 80% of your degree with a minimum of 2.0 GPA. Please check with your athletic academic advisor in the SARC if you have any questions related to the NCAA rules regarding eligibility.
We all know college is expensive, but as a student athlete, there are some helpful options, and we should all be aware of the financial aid that is available to us. Money from anyone whom you're naturally or legally dependent on. Remember that this is never okay for you to receive money from a coach, fan, or a booster. Money from the financial aid office, for example, the Pell Grant, State University Grant, Cal Grant, and student loans. Money from the NCAA Student Assistance Fund. See Mark McGushin in the SARC and the Student Athlete Handbook and Planner for details. Money from outside community scholarships. These must be approved by the Compliance Office to ensure they meet NCAA regulations. Additionally, if you are a scholarship student athlete, you need to be aware that every year by July 1st, you will be notified if your scholarship is going to be renewed, reduced, or canceled. You are only eligible to receive a maximum of 5 years of athletic financial aid.
As student athletes, our top priorities are school and sports performance, but we need to know how to manage our time effectively so we can perform at our best.
These rules break down your NCAA permitted CARA, which stands for Accountable Athletic Related Activities. For example, this includes practice, weights, games, and required film review.
In season, when you are in your season, the following rules apply. No more than 20 hours of CARA a week. No more than 4 hours per day. You must have 1 day off per week.
Out of season. When you are out of your season, the following rules apply. No more than 8 hours of CARA a week. Of your 8 hours, a maximum of 2 hours can be individual skill instruction. You must have 2 days off per week. Remember, the following also apply to CARA. Required weight room workouts count towards your hours. No matter how long a competition is, it counts as 3 hours. Time spent in the training room or study table does not count towards your hours. When classes are not in session, the daily and weekly hour limitations to CARA do not apply. If you have any questions or concerns at any time, please be encouraged to contact the Compliance Office, FAR, or your SAC team representative.
As Sacramento State student athletes, we are a part of something much larger than we could have ever imagined. With that big-time responsibility, the athletic department expects all of us to act in a way that promotes a positive image of the university. If you ever have any questions about what type of actions could be considered a violation of the Code of Conduct, please contact your coach or sports supervisor. The following guidelines will help you navigate your academic and athletic path. Academic dishonesty. You must always do your own homework, assignments, projects, and tests. Remember to properly cite your sources in papers and speeches. You should not share your work with other student athletes or students. Tutors are available for coursework assistance, but they cannot complete your work. Simply said, you should never engage in cheating, plagiarism, falsification, or tampering of grades or assist another student engaging in these activities. Prohibited conduct includes alcohol and drugs, hazing, social media websites. You are prohibited from posting or tweeting anything on the internet that puts you, your team, the athletic department, or university in a negative light. Weapons possession, unexcused class absences, failure to meet team obligations. Every student athlete receives a copy of the athletic department code of conduct within the student athlete handbook and planner.
Hornets. We are not allowed to participate with another team during the academic year. For example, if your high school club team calls you to play in a weekend tournament, that could be an NCAA violation. There are exceptions to the rule, so go directly to the compliance office. General exceptions to the outside competition rule are: during vacation periods when your team is not in season, you are permitted to compete in one high school alumni game per year, participation on the U.S. national team or state games. If you have any questions about outside competition, remember to go to the compliance office.
It's no secret that everyone wants to be a Hornet, so it goes without saying that every year many student athletes transfer to Sacramento State. However, if you ever do consider transferring, remember the following. NCAA restrictions apply depending on your sport. You need permission to speak with other four-year colleges from the compliance office before you can start to be recruited again. Even more restrictions apply if you want to transfer to another Big Sky school or other conferences that Sacramento State teams represent. Always go to the compliance office for more information.
So you want to know something great about being a Hornet student athlete? Free ticket! That's right, Hornets, we said free. As student athletes, we are eligible for 4 free tickets in the sport we compete in. These free tickets, also known as complimentary admissions, are a benefit we receive for our participation. These rules will help you know how to use these tickets. For teams with ticketing, you will be required to submit your 4 guest names online prior to each event. Individuals using your complimentary admissions must present a photo ID at the ticket gate. You are not permitted to accept money, gifts, or other benefits in exchange for your complimentary admissions.
You may not designate other individuals, like a friend, parent, or guardian, to receive money, gifts, or benefits on your behalf for your complimentary admissions. Also, don't forget we can support all of our fellow student athletes throughout the year as well, because our campus IDs will get us into all sporting events for free.
We have the choice to work during the academic year or during the summer. Remember these key points and they will ensure that you won't risk your eligibility. You can only be paid for work that you actually perform. You may only get paid at the going rate of pay for the area. Your employer may not use your reputation as a Sac State student athlete to benefit their business. As a student athlete, you cannot have your own business. For example, starting a business selling a product like makeup or kitchenware. And although we have some of the best looking student athletes, you cannot start modeling once you have become a student athlete. If you were modeling before becoming a Sacramento State student athlete, then it is permissible. But always check with the compliance office before booking any photo shoots. Sometimes that employment includes providing private lessons, which are also known as fee-for lessons by the NC2A. You will need to remember the following rules and also notify the compliance office before you give any lessons. You must have prior approval from the compliance office. Sacramento State facilities cannot be used. You cannot simply play against the lesson recipient. You have to actually teach a skill or provide instruction. Your compensation must be paid by the lesson recipient or the recipient's family and not by another individual or entity.
As Hornets, we can be asked to participate in activities that make a positive impact in our community, such as volunteering to be a lunch buddy at an elementary school. These activities can be done for the athletic department, the university, or the community. But if anybody outside of the athletic department asks you to be involved in a promotional activity, who do you call? The compliance office. General rules for promotional activities are: you must have prior approval from Sacramento State Athletics. You cannot miss class. You cannot get paid. Your name, picture, or appearance must be used in a manner that is consistent with NCAA rules.
Throughout our athletic career here at Sac State, we can be randomly drug tested at any time.
This drug testing can happen from two different organizations, the NCAA or the Sacramento State Athletic Department.
Sacramento State Athletics drug testing. All student athletes are subject to unannounced, random drug tests during the course of the year.
The penalties for your first positive Sac State drug test can result in some pretty serious consequences, including mandatory meeting with the head coach and the AD, suspension from competition for a minimum of 10% of the team's regular season contests, drug education counseling.
Community service, as determined by the AD. You will also be subject to frequent, unannounced testing. If warranted by the circumstances in a particular case, the AD has the authority to impose a more severe penalty for a first offense.
NCAA drug testing can happen year-round. That includes the summer. A positive test will make you ineligible for 365 calendar days, and you will lose 1 year of eligibility. A second positive for a street drug will make you ineligible for another 365 calendar days, and you will lose 1 additional year of eligibility. A second positive for something other than a street drug will make you ineligible for the rest of your intercollegiate career in all sports. For all drug tests, remember these points. If you don't show up for a test, it will be counted as a positive. If you are tested by a national or international athletics organization and test positive, you are required to notify the athletic director and compliance office. Bottom line,
just say no to drugs.
Even before we became Division I student athletes, there were rules to follow. It's important to remember that your actions can affect your athletic eligibility during your recruitment to become a Hornet. If any of the following issues happen to you during your recruitment while a prospective student athlete, or better known as a PSA by Sacramento State, you need to see the compliance office. Anybody provided you or your family with impermissible financial aid. This could be in the form of money or other tangible items. Anybody other than an actual Sacramento State coach recruited you to become a Hornet. For example, a booster or a fan brought you to campus to recruit you to be a Hornet. You received more than 5 official visits during your high school senior year or after October 15th following your high school graduation. You received entertainment beyond 3 complimentary admissions to a home Sacramento State sporting event.
At some point, your coach might ask you to be a student-athlete host for an official visit. It's your responsibility to follow both NCAA and Sacramento State athletics procedures when hosting PSAs. Student-athlete hosts may not provide alcohol, drugs, or adult entertainment of any kind to PSA, take recruits to any drinking or gambling establishments, use a vehicle provided by a coach or booster, take the PSA or their family more than 30 miles from Sacramento State campus, allow conversations to occur between a PSA and a booster, The entertainment funds provided to you by the coach must entertain you as the host, the PSA, and the PSA's parents. The NCAA allows for you to receive $40 per day to entertain a PSA, their parents, and yourself. If you host additional PSAs, it's up to $20 per day per PSA.
Hornets, do you think you're ready to become a professional in your sport? If you think you are, you need to know the following NCAA rules when dealing with agents in your amateurism status. Hornet student athletes. You will lose your eligibility if you or your parents, guardians accept benefits from an agent. You may not sign a contract with an agent or agree verbally to be represented by an agent until after your eligibility has expired. Any questions regarding agents should be directed to the compliance office. No agents until no eligibility.
And while we're at it, we need to remember that student athletes must keep their amateurism status while at Sacramento State. You cannot use your athletic skill for pay in any form. You cannot agree to a promise of pay at a later date. You cannot receive pay for endorsing a commercial product. If you receive impermissible prize money or awards, you may not assign it to another individual or agency.
As Division I student athletes, we are not allowed to gamble on professional or collegiate athletics. You all know the motto, don't bet on it. So avoid gambling with your eligibility and remember these points. As a Hornet student athlete, you cannot provide information to individuals placing bets. You cannot solicit a bet on any intercollegiate team or any professional team. You cannot accept a bet on any team. You cannot participate in any gambling activity that involves intercollegiate athletics. Sports wagering reminders. If there is a violation of the regulations involving gambling with Sacramento State, you lose all remaining eligibility in all sports. Gambling violations with any other team aside from Sacramento State will result in losing a minimum of 1 year of eligibility. Any student athlete who engages in activity designed to influence the outcome of an intercollegiate contest, such as point shaving, will lose all remaining eligibility.
As NCAA student athletes, we cannot accept any extra benefits under the NCAA rules. Also, the NCAA regulates your interaction with donors to the athletic department. We know these donors as boosters.
Remember these definitions and rules so you stay eligible and know how to interact with boosters.
A booster is anyone who makes donations to the athletic department, provides benefits to a PSA or current student athletes, or generally promotes Sacramento State athletics. There are limitations to the interaction that you can have with boosters.
You cannot receive any extra benefits from a booster. Some examples include use of a car, gifts, cash, loans, free services, and free tickets for any kind of entertainment. Free or reduced merchandise from a store or restaurant, unless it is available to the general public. Free or reduced room and or board or utilities from a booster. This includes in Sacramento, your home city, or any other location. Members of the athletic department staff, including tutors, may not type reports, papers, etc. A permissible extra benefit is an occasional meal. Athletic department staff, including coaches, may take you to a restaurant or their home. A booster may have you to their home for a meal or host a meal on the Sac State campus. They may also provide transportation for you from your residence to his or her home and back to your residence.
If you have questions about Sacramento State, Big Sky, or NCAA rules, you know where to go. Always contact the compliance office first.
I don't get a cue card for that? Okay. Okay. Wait, what?
Do you want me to sit straight or do you want me to turn? Okay.
We have rules.
Cannibal Athletic, no, okay, sorry. Which stands for Cannibal Athletic.
Athletic eligibility. I'm like,
Okay, I'm gonna get it this time, you guys. I got this.
If you have start over.
Do you think you're ready? Oh, should we go there?
I messed up.
All right, so just go whenever.
Ready?
Start over.
Do I do it again?
You ready?
Do I just start them all over?
That wasn't good enough for you?
That was horrible.
Cash money.
This is like so much pressure. I can't say professional.
As Division I athlete, see, we should have filmed it the first time.
That was really bad.
Got a little sass. As NCAA.
I told you I was giggly.
Just say no to drugs.
Just say no to drugs.
Bottom line.
No to drugs. Okay, one more. What was wrong with that?
It's like the more I do, I'm just like getting a little nervous.
I got nervous.
There was one extra body in the room, now I'm like all nervous.
Oh.
I was like waiting for someone to call me out. Best student, no. Oh, okay.
Okay, because I'm like.
Our school and school.
Okay, just start over every time.